good.
It's so good to see you, Daniela.
It's so good to see you guys. I was like, oh, I'm so excited to do this. And then right as I'm about to get on, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be super emotional.
It's okay.
Look at
It's
you.
good to see you, Adam.
Likewise, Cassie. How you doing?
Good.
Yay. We'll see who else decides to show up.
Right.
I'm hoping that you are all okay in terms of being live on Facebook, in terms of your own personal privacy. If you need to black out your screen or disappear.
We're good.
I was going to send a message to the waiting room, like, you're giving me full permission to put us all over the internet.
I've never really been a shrinking violet, so I'm sorry.
Say it again.
I've never really been a shrinking violet, so I don't think it matters.
There you go.
Allie, you still in
Yeah,
Minnesota?
shrinking-
Minnesota,
Yeah,
right?
I am in Minnesota. Yeah. Where it was like 70 degrees today. So I just got inside. I was out golfing and then we like hurried home so I could make it on here. We were like, if it's 70, we're going to be outside. And it's supposed to snow on Tuesday. So, you know.
Do it while you have it.
Wow. Yeah.
We already had like 8 inches of snow in like mid-October, which we usually do not get. It was just like, we're going to do this year because why would we not?
Washington got something similar a few weeks ago. That was pretty intense.
It went right from summer to basically whatever this winter is.
Mm-hmm.
There's Mr. Eric and Matt. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
How is everybody?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you. And Allie.
Yeah, I actually knew the hardest part of this would be like, I don't really hug most people that I know, but all of you, I'm like hugger status with. I was like, how am I going to see people and not hug them? This is like dumb. So virtual hug.
I'm down with this.
For real, virtual hugs. Matt, are you with me?
I'm here, but my video camera is refusing to work right now of all times. So I'm playing with it.
Excellent.
I might drop and try and come back in if I can't get to work otherwise.
Okay, we'll be here.
Hi to everyone, though.
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Yay, Patrice is here, coming in.
That's getting to the point where I don't always know where to look.
I know, right? Boom, 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 boom.
It was easy before when there's 4.
Hey, darling.
Hi, Daniela. Hi, everyone.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. You surviving?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering who's the farthest.
There you are, Matt.
Matt.
Hey.
Here's Derek. And I think we're going to have a special guest with Derek, possibly. We'll see. Derek.
How you doing, man?
Eric.
Hey, Derek.
We don't hear you yet, my dear.
No.
At least you got his camera to work on the first try.
Yeah.
Yay, this is so cool. Oh, I'm slacking here at my job as tech. Here comes Scotty. I'm so glad you guys have taken the time.
Oh, there's a special guest. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that little tyrant. Oh my goodness.
She's so cute, Derek.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. This is Hayden.
Hey, Hayden, what a sweetie.
Whoa. Man, hi everybody. Wow. Oh man.
We're gonna wait go ahead. Oh, you were talking to Hayden, introducing?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I miss tango.
Whew. We're gonna wait just a few more minutes and then we'll I have a little format for today, and I was hoping some current Tango Club people and the current Tango Club president would join us. Erica, I don't know whether she will or not, but I thought that, given the status of the world, that
Right.
that you guys came with a lot of wisdom and creativity over the years, and you actually are part of the legacy of ASU Tango Club. So I thought it might be really great to do a little recap, maybe some highlights, maybe some advice for the tango world, or stuff that you really learned from tango that now 5 or more years from the time you were doing tango gave you, like maybe there was some wisdom that came with it that here's Marco. That might be interesting. So let's kind of.
I think this might be the first time I've been called wise, so now I can say I've been called everything.
Marco.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey guys. Good to see all of you.
Likewise.
My God.
Right?
Bit of a bust of the past.
Look at you. I love all of the facial hair happening.
This is the lack of needing to go out in quarantine means I don't really have to worry about my appearance, so.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna be on mute probably for an extended time because I'm technically still actually working, but I do want to check in where I can. Okay.
Oh snap!
Good to see you guys.
Love that. Love it.
I won't
Good.
tell if you won't, Marco. It's fine.
I appreciate it, guys.
So long as his boss isn't on Facebook or something. So again, I'm hoping all of you are
Hopefully
okay.
not.
Hoping all of you are okay with being seen. If you want to change your name or whatever, you could do that. Let's. I think I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. And can we, just to get an idea, can you all put in the chat around the time that you were in tango, like 2005, 2000, whatever, like that time frame, just to give us.
Meaning ASU Tango or like tango in general?
Yes. No, ASU Tango. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So like Scotty just put in here 2007 to 2010. And I guess I could call on each one of you to say it out loud, but I thought this would be faster. So 2007, 2010, 2006, 2006 to 2009, 2008 to 2012, 2005 to 2009.
Thanks, Eric, for making me realize I was wrong.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know yours.
I was waiting until Ali, Eric, and Matt answered so that I could try to remember.
Awesome. Awesome. Good. 2012, 2014, 2011, 2013, more or less. 2007. Good. Nice. So like
I remember I took the class because I had to repeat a really awful engineering class from a professor that couldn't teach it. And I needed something to get make it so I wasn't homicidal. So it was around then.
These are the markers that Clayton 2008, 2009 to whenever it was.
Right.
Good. Oh, look who's here. Come on.
And I know I left Arizona in 2013.
Yep.
So.
Got it. Hey, what up?
Wow. Whoa.
Good.
Hello.
The hair, man.
Hello.
I know, it's getting
Hello,
long.
hello.
Nice, nice. I was just having people post in the chat the years that they were more or less in tango. And then So thanks for coming. And I would love to hear a little bit about, if you want to talk a little bit about.
That's so great.
Are you okay?
No, I'm excited to see you guys. You've grown.
In the best
Go
ways,
ahead.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I expect nothing less from you. So it's okay. So, ish, there, good. Oops. Good. Hey, Marisa, she here yet?
I don't see her. Oh, there you are.
She is. Hey, lovely.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see everyone again.
For sure. Absolutely. I'm like totally moved and like kind of like out of breath. So the ideas that I had for this encuentro of ours, this little retrospective, was anything that you wanted to share about tango or how it affected your life, or if you think it had any effect post Tango Club at ASU. Even if you never danced after ASU, that's fine. That's not the point. 2, maybe your favorite tango memory, like your favorite ASU Tango Club memory would be awesome to hear. And then and I'll type those in the chat here in a second. As Joey's here. Hey, Joey.
Joey.
Hi, Erica.
Erica too. Hello.
So Erica is the current Tango Club president.
Okay.
And she was saying, you know, tell me a little bit about Tango Club legacy. I hear so many rumors about the cool things Tango Club did. And I was like, let's do a retrospective. So Erica, you're more than welcome to ask questions as well. I was just asking everybody to think about maybe a favorite Tango Club memory, or how Tango Club impacted your life post ASU Tango, even if you've never tangoed since. And then any tango wisdom. So if you think, because as you well know, tango is totally on hold for most of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we know that, like all things forbidden, I'm sure there's people doing it, right? So, you know, but as tango starts to maybe venture back into the world, any tango wisdom, because I feel like you as a club really carried some gems of creativity and ideas about community and ideas about keeping it together and keeping it real. So if you guys, those are my 3 big top agenda topics, in no particular order. And if you want to jump in or wave your hand, however you want to do it is good. And we are live on Facebook as well. So maybe if people write in some little questions on Facebook too, that would be kind of fun. It's so nice. And tell us where you are, you know, so be like, hey, this is what I think, answering any of those 3 questions. Anybody want to start?
Something, Daniela, that is not about the 3 questions.
Sure.
It's amazing how many people there are here that I don't know. And that shows how long the Tango Club has been
Yeah,
going
no, there
on.
are a lot of people here that even I don't know.
She's calling us old.
Oh.
We're old. It's the old people you don't know.
There are quite a few of you guys I haven't seen since I started, so it's good to see your faces again.
Danielle very graciously said maybe it's been 5 years since some of us danced tango.
Very
Maybe
gracious.
That was
more.
very generous of her,
Maybe
yes.
more.
All right, well, I'm
Anybody?
never shy, so I guess I'll start.
Awesome.
I guess on the subject matter of what tango, what you took out of tango, beyond the relationships that were formed from Tango and beyond you guys as well. Really the dynamic that I found interesting that I think helps a lot in my life outside is coming into a situation where you don't know anything, where you're new, where you're green. And in Tango Club, I was able to feel welcomed and learn from people like Scott and Allie and Matt and Eric, who were there for a while before me. And then as they moved on, then you started moving up, and then you started taking over some of the duties that they had as far as developing the community and helping the new people out. And so while you were learning to become a better dancer, you were also learning how to fit into, I don't like the word tribe because in today's society it has negative connotations, but it doesn't have to. It was
Community?
a
Fit into a community,
it was
yeah.
a little bit more than just a community, I think. And finding your place in that and growing within that as the situation changed. I thought that was kind of one of the less obvious wonderful things of Tango.
Nice. And you and Cassie are still in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. And you guys are married?
We are.
Yay!
That's awesome. Yeah, about community and that sort of scaffolding effect that Tango Club had, where the oldies were constantly in touch with the newbies and recruiting and helping out. And I think
Yeah,
that
there
you're
was
right.
definitely a generational contract there. There was like, you had the people that have been around for a while, and like the person that helped me a lot outside of just you being the teacher was honestly Ben. And just like him being the mentor and saying, no, you can do a little bit better, or no, this isn't how you do it, or try this other thing. Like there was always someone around who knew how to do it better and was willing to show you how to do it better. So that was enormously helpful.
Awesome. And where are you, Adam, now?
Northeast Washington State. I'm in a little town called Republic, which has like a population of maybe 1,000. So, not much tango, unfortunately. There used to be square dancing, but given the whole like 9 months of civil unrest and global pandemic, I'm kind of glad I landed here. Quite honestly, this is like there isn't any Thai place around here, but you know. People aren't burning down businesses, which is great.
In the Republic. Very cool.
Yeah, no, you guys were speaking to community, and that is absolutely something that I have always been looking for unconsciously, because my father grew up on a farm in Ohio. So he was very much of the small town community. You help people out. If you see someone walking on the side of the road, you pull over and like ask them, where do you need to get going? And I was always looking for that and not finding it in places like, well, you can find it here and there in Phoenix. You definitely don't find it in the Bay Area. It's just, no, sorry. And finding it here and realizing where I got that from and why I wasn't finding it elsewhere, and finding it here has been just enormously gratifying. But the thing that Tango taught me more than anything else was honestly just basic social skills, because I kind of grew up under a rock. And the folks here who were unfortunate enough to know me when I joined picked up on that very quickly. But it taught me a lot that I needed to learn in a very, very, very short amount of time. And the way it's affected me since is honestly like this. Like there were two ways that I was able to meet new people when I moved to a strange place. One of them was going to a cigar shop and finding a place that was relatively accepting of strangers and weirdos like me. And the other one was dancing tango. Like I have met, of the lifelong friends I have met, most of them I met dancing, quite honestly. So like that was the rule for my life up until I moved here. And what's happened here is the people here are used to just like striking up a conversation with someone that they don't know at a bar. And that's a perfectly normal thing to do. That's less normal in places like the Bay Area. So that has been enormously life-changing for me.
Maybe you need to start a Tango Club up there.
I'm like, honestly, I'm already scouting out locations. So the office that I'm renting here, because I work remote, the office that I'm renting has a like community center club thing, and that's the legal loophole that they have so that the owner can show movies because regulation, whatever, I don't know. That theater has a dance floor on it. So I'm already thinking, oh, I could already like, start offering tango lessons every other week or something. I don't know. But so yes, that is absolutely on the roadmap. Thank you for asking. Hi, Olga.
Awesome, Adam. I know, Olga. And,
Hey, Olga.
And Will. So good
Will.
to see
There.
you.
Hey,
good to see you.
Daniela.
I'm just looking at everyone.
I know, it's so exciting.
William, I don't see where you are. I hear you talking.
I'm
I see
here.
you.
I'm waving my hands. Do you see me?
Oh my gosh, guys.
Is anybody recording this to keep it on file?
Yes, we're recording and it's live on Facebook too, so it's in perpetuity.
Yes.
Good. This is so great. Good.
Daniela,
Okay.
do you
Okay,
remember?
so I have some community related things that I'll blurt in.
So Allie, Allie, go ahead. Allie, were
Someone
you
else
just
was asking a question. So, Erica, did you have a question?
Yeah, so there are so many people here that I don't know, and I'm curious to know when the club was founded. I mean, when you introduce yourself, can you say when you were part of the club? So I have a
We
reference.
put that in the chat. That's
Oh,
all in the chat.
It's in the chat. I can tell you that Allie and Eric were the new wave. There was a club before them. Do you guys remember who?
Yeah, so there was a club before Eric and I. So Eric and I started dancing at the same time. So we started spring of 2006.
wow.
And then we took the club over the year after that. And there were people that had it before, but actually some of my like memories and things, there was like no budget. So Eric and I were the people that kind of, Eric was president. Eric led the ranks, and like I remember when we first had a budget to buy like a speaker and an iPad to put music on, and we were like beyond thrilled. And then I remember when we had excess money for the first time, and we were like, what do you do when you have excess money? You buy Ben and Jerry's for everybody you know. And we bought like Ben and Jerry's for all of Tango Club. Why would we not? It was amazing. So that's where it kind of started with us. When we started it, took it over the club, Eric had nothing to work with. And then we just, like Cassandra, who's not here, like she did tons with us too, and got like, I don't know, the t-shirts rolling and like speakers, and the attendance at the practica that we had every week like really took off because kids from the class would come to the practica, and it was just like awesome. So I don't know, that's kind of like the history of, I think Eric and I are the oldest of the club members that are here.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say about community, like for me, like if anyone ever asked me like, what did you do during college? Like the thing I did during college was dance tango. Like I went to class, graduated, got me a job, it worked great. But like tango was the thing that I did that actually is the defining thing of college. And it's kind of funny because like Eric, I haven't seen since we graduated, maybe, which for people that knew us then are probably like, what the shit? Like you guys haven't seen each other since you graduated? You were like inseparable. And like, it's kind of awesome because he'll always be one of my very, very best friends because of that. And I think that thing in community will make me cry, but also like that community strength is like the coolest thing. So that's my community thought.
Yay. I know, I invited Jose Perez. He was sort of part of Tango Club pre you guys. And he would have, and there was a woman named Caitlin, I think, as well, who was sort of right before you guys, but there wasn't much happening. So you guys really got funding, had to write a charter or whatever else you needed to write in order to start getting some momentum. going. So you guys,
I can definitely echo what Ali was saying about like her college experience, because the two things that have had the biggest impact on me have been being part of Tango Club and being the president of the Linux users group. Like the classes, none of that mattered. Like the math classes were useful. The Tango classes were life-changing. The Linux thing was useful because that's where I started learning public speaking, and that's turned out to be a thing that I do. But the rest of it, nah, chaff, worthless.
I would say Tango Club also gave us opportunity in so many different ways. I mean, it gave us the opportunity just to come and be exactly who we were and be accepted by this huge community of generations of dancers. And I mean, it gave us the opportunity to just try, just to be creative. And I think that's one of the things that helped make it defining for all of us. I mean, we hosted 2 national festivals. I think almost all of us were part of it. That's crazy. And with none of us ever having really done it before, we did that. And it just gave us chances to just try things and just do stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was my Tango memory, was dancing at the venue that you guys had by the bus stop over at University Ave, which completely trashed my knees, but that was still just a lovely little event.
I actually probably also shared the one. Are you thinking was it the all-night Malanga they did, like in the just on the patio up there?
No, it wasn't.
Different
It
one.
was there was this little enclosed space that had a rough concrete floor, which is what wound up trashing my knees. But it was, I think it was the first festival. Yeah, I think so. It was the first festival. It was the first Milonga after the day of classes.
awesome. Good memories.
Yeah. So my memory is from the second festival then, when the all-nighter was on the balcony of the oh my god, whatever the theater was.
Yeah.
And I think that probably weekend was the whole way to do that, because I'd only been dancing. I think you guys did it in February that year. I was there less than a month. I met and Derek, and you guys were putting all this together. Like I decided to go and volunteer because I didn't know what else to do, and that probably hooked me in for for the last 8 years. I mean, not counting 2020. I'm just gonna kind of write that off, but I'm still dancing to this day, both in Phoenix and traveling around making friends.
Yep.
Oddly running into the odd alum and my travels. Like I spent the last 2 years running into Mac at random events. For those of you guys who remember him.
Mac, awesome.
I ran into Mac in a random Uber. Like we literally, I was just getting into my Uber and sitting in there with my friend, like on a Tuesday night, and Mac is like, "Well,"
he actually mentioned that one of the times.
He was coming from a Milonga.
I had that. Yeah, I had that happen to.
Oh, that's awesome, Will.
Yeah, I had that happen to someone.
I know that Ramel ran into Mac
Acacia.
several times in Buenos Aires too. Mac gets
Maybe
around.
Mac has a twin.
Yeah, I got around with Mac in Buenos Aires, and he got me high.
Get on Facebook, Ramel.
High on life, Ramel. High on life.
Eric.
Does anyone remember that trip that we took to Sedona and we stayed at Ramel's house?
Yes.
So I was just in Sedona 2 weeks ago with John, and I was like, yeah, I've been to Sedona like twice. The first time was, for Tango, and that's when I slept with Will. And he kind of looked at me like, I'm pretty sure there's more to that story. And I was like, well, we shared a twin bed with 2 other people. But I think Liz was also in bed with us.
Yeah.
I don't remember who else. But that's actually when we became friends.
Yeah.
I remember Ramel bought like pounds and pounds of bananas, and they were all gone. He's like, bananas are gone. Awesome. This is so good.
Can we meet
Go ahead. Who's talking? Sorry.
Oh, I was just asking if we could meet little Somo.
Oh, baby Somo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a bit fussy right now, but let's see if maybe in a moment.
She made a debut not too long ago.
it's really nice to see the community that you guys have created. I see that the only people that I know here besides Daniela are Marco, who is our weekly instructor, and thanks to him, the club is still alive because the new members don't know much tango, and Marisa, who I met through the tango festivals. And I think
would like to make an addendum that I would say a lot of the club's current survival is probably more dependent on Amelia, who's not in right now, but she took over as president before you guys, and I think she really helped get that momentum starting to where you guys are at today. And seeing her drive is kind of why I really want to still help you guys. So I don't want to discount her either.
Yeah, Amelia has been a really a big help for us. And so when I came to the club, I actually, which was in 2016, I didn't like tango. I had never danced tango, but I am from Argentina, and because I'm from Argentina, I thought I should dance tango. So I went there, and I didn't like the dance, but what I liked was the community, which was so beautiful. It was really helpful for me as an academic, as a graduate student, to have a place where I didn't have to think and I could just feel. And eventually I started to like tango, and now I'm in love with tango. One of the other things that has been really influential in my life is the connection that I feel. Probably all of you are dancers, probably you have felt that when you dance tango, I don't know if any of you meditate, but for me, it's like tango is like a meditation. You are in full connection with yourself and with another person. And I'm a spirituality researcher. And as I delved into my research, I found that tango described everything that I did in my research. So it's when I describe my research to people, I tell them, imagine that you're dancing with somebody and you are both one and you're connected with the entire universe. So tango is a perfect experience to describe what it is like to have a spiritual experience, which is really cool.
Hey, Liz.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Erica. There's I don't know if they might have heard it, but if you guys remember Brent and Courtney was the one who was doing that kind of interactive tango like programming project of hers.
Oh yeah.
She probably has 20 minutes of me ranting about that weird like spiritual side of tango that you can sometimes get when they were asking about that, because I wouldn't say I went off the deep end, but I was really excited like being able to participate in that project and talking about it when the way they were interviewing us after, like when she was doing like some of the data gathering for her project. It was really, really cool. So I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one who thinks like that.
I think Eric Parks wrote a paper on something religious and tango, didn't you? I remember these things. I remember these things.
I did, Daniela, for your tango class. That's right. So it's really nice. It's amazing just hearing the things that I never danced tango after ASU, to be perfectly honest. But it's just amazing to hear some of the thoughts that I had when I was dancing reiterated here. It's really nice.
I have a vivid memory of taking, I think this was either the Tucson Tango, I think it was actually the Tucson Tango Festival, and someone that I had seen here and there, either in Tucson or Flagstaff, was there, and she and I had danced really well, Kathy Rutherford. And we were doing an exercise where you had to, as the leader, basically use the follower's foot as a brushstroke. And so you could basically like try to make it so that you could lead your intention as precisely enough that you could like draw a circle with your followers like free leg. And Kathy is a very experienced dancer. She's been doing this probably longer than I've been alive. And the thing that blew my mind about all of this was that she was just fiercely committed to all of this. She was just fiercely committed to doing this thing as well as she could. And it honestly felt like a mind meld, which was, ooh, man, I needed a cigarette after that. Quite honestly.
So lots of great, all of us have experienced that. I mean, some at some form or another, that place of full embodiment, complete meditation, connection, etc. So I think
we used to call them tangasms.
Who's gonna say that?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a word like Tango Club came up with, or do other people say it?
I added it to Urban Dictionary like years ago. So
nice job.
I
Brilliant.
can't remember
Excellent.
if I've
Well done.
I can't remember if I've heard it afterwards or if I'm the one who's brought it up and then I heard it later.
added it to Urban.
I think it's somebody else might have done it, but we also might have kind of come up with it on our own.
I can't remember.
Sorry.
I remember I added it to Urban Dictionary like I think 8 years ago, back when I was in Tango class still.
So Eric, you made a confession and I have the same one, which is I didn't really dance tango after I stopped, and my partner doesn't dance at all, but it's so weird. And I've told Daniela the few times, like I'll just pop out of nowhere and be like, Daniela, I was in Italy and I saw Milonga, and I'll just go dance it. And I don't know if I'm doing okay or not, but some muscle memory is there. And it's just amazing to pop in and be like, oh yes, I love this. And then pop back out again. And then one more thing I want to say, which is Will is amazing and Carolyn's amazing. They'll sometimes be like, let's go do a tango weekend. We never dance tango. I'll tell my boyfriend, we're going to go dance tango for a weekend. He's like, how was it? I'm like, we didn't do any of that. We went to brunch, we went to some clubs, and we slept in. There was no tango.
That's not the point.
There was a lot of drinking.
Yeah, that's the point.
Awesome. I just
Well,
wanted to
I haven't danced since I left either. I think like 2 weekends I maybe have gone dancing since graduating ASU. And this is actually making me realize why, because every time I go, I'm actually just really sad at every milonga, because I'm like, well, if these people aren't there, why am I there? Like, it sucks. Yep. So I just don't go anywhere because you all ain't there. So I'm like, I'm not going if they're not there. And I think that's what Tango Club really had for us, because we traveled together. Like our Tango Club, when we went, we like all went and we sat together and we like shared stories together, and it was like a family. And without that, I'm like not into it.
Allie, I tried to get you out though.
I know, but like
You know, it's funny you say that because
Yeah.
it's funny you say that because I did keep dancing afterwards. I was in like one of the few bright spots about being in the Bay Area was that there was a very, very vibrant tango scene there. So there was, you could find something to do every night of the week.
Yeah.
But what I wound up doing was just finding another community of people that I could like shuttle around to whatever event was going around. So.
Yeah, I also had sort of the opposite experience where I did keep dancing after Tango Club, and it's been one of those things. I've moved around a lot, and I've lived in Ecuador, and I've lived in Philadelphia and the Philippines, and now I'm in Siem Reap, Cambodia. And I think the one thing for me that, like, especially when I went to the Philippines, I remember I told my boss after like a week, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to a friend's house. And she was like, how do you have friends already? And to me, it was literally tango, because my Philadelphia friend my Tango Philadelphia friend told me that a different tango friend was there and connected me. And, you know, and I had this instant community that was very accepting. And trust me, I definitely get sad at milongas, and some milongas I sit there and I think I would give anything for like one of my like beloved, you know, favorite Tanda partners to be there. And I feel that nostalgia and sadness, but I've also found that like tango has really allowed me to enter into community with people really quickly and in a way that has made me not feel so alone in places that I would otherwise feel very alone.
Yeah.
I'm also in the same boat, and I would say probably the biggest thing about my first year of Tango Club was right as I graduated. Actually, that final semester was the year I graduated. Like, I stuck in Arizona, but but it wound up being a smooth transition for me socially because I'd started making all these new friends in this larger community and hobby that I still do. Whereas at that same time, you know, a lot of my college friends, except for maybe like 2 that stuck around afterwards, you know, they all left because we all had to go back. We all started moving on and doing our own things. But I feel very blessed in that respect because I had this group of college kids or people my age that I was still hanging around with even at that time. And then, you know, the club was still going out together. I was making friends, which let me make more of these like Tango specific connections, not just Tango Club, that have helped me keep, you know, myself active and, you know, more social than not. Because I would also consider myself, much like Adam, not as, I think I always liked meeting people, but I was much more shy before I got into Tango. Or at the very least, I can hide it better.
I just want to say that Belinda, beloved Belinda, she supported ASU Tango Club a lot. I think all of you might know of her. She says her hellos on Facebook. And Angel and Mary, Angel just posted on Facebook saying hello and said, dang, Derek's got a baby. And we should be like, dang, Angel's got 2 babies. So sending hellos to them. Awesome. This is so great. I'm loving hearing what is going on with everybody. I know Marisa posted that it might be nice because there isn't a ton of us to kind of go through and say, where are you? What are you doing? Or whatever you want to share that's not Tango related, or your job or something. Does that feel like something we want to do? Does this feel like a good interlude, or is somebody jonesing to say something else? Okay, good. So
I'll go a little bit, Daniela.
Go ahead,
to
Scotty.
kind of round out on your questions, right? How it's affected me. I mean, I still dance. This is now my longest break, and I've lived after university. I went and lived in New York for a while. I went down to BA for 7 months and lived down there, and now I'm in the Bay Area. I've ran my own marathon with some friends. I've opened up a few different practicas, and a milonga with my girlfriend that ran up until the pandemic. So I'm a DJ and you know, general community organizer in the Bay Area, and it's been great. I mean, it's really defined my world, my, you know, adult life at this point. And you know, going off of what Patrice said about traveling, you know, I go, you know, wherever. We went on a Greek and Turkey trip a few years ago, and, you know, just jump into any community and dance with whoever, and it's great. So it's this has definitely been a very strange time being in, you know, the pandemic. So yeah, and you know, as far as, you know, kind of advice or, you know, community when we were growing up, I felt really lucky because I felt like I had 2 communities. Obviously the Tango Club and Daniela's classes, and that brought all us young folks together. But then there was the other community, right? The actual long-standing Phoenix area community. So, you know, we could really go out and hang out with our friends, but then go and luckily most of the community members were very welcoming. So we could go dance with them and you know, learn a little bit more, right? And the clubs were great because everybody, I forget who said it, but it was a very like communal effort, right? Like, we're trying to get more people hooked on this crazy drug that we do, and it was a great time. It was such a blast, and like everybody else has been saying, like that's what university was for me. It was just Tango. Like, the classes were nothing. So yeah, those are, yeah.
Awesome.
Piggybacking off of Scott, because I kind of wound up inheriting Danielle's old practica after Ashley and Enya then left, as well as, you know, still helping the club now. Yeah, seeing that long-term like friendship develop. Like I said, I hadn't seen Mac, I think, until I started running into him for a couple years. I think Liz was traveling with me at the time, she's still in. she might be able to tell you more accurately when we ran into him again. But we kind of picked up a friendship like it hadn't left, even though it had been years since then. And that, I think, is always kind of a cool thing, especially with a shared hobby like this, because we're all doing our own things. But we still have these friendships, even if it feels like they're on pause. You kind of come back in, you check in, you say hello, and that is a great feeling to have, or knowing that you have this like larger circle that you can jump in on every so often. Kind of like, even I think Olga, you were saying, you ran into Malanga in Italy and just hopped in. Like, that's a cool thing to do.
Yes, it is. I highly recommend it.
Good. Do you want to go around the squares?
The ordering is not consistent, so you're going to have to call out who's next.
I know.
Yeah, the club has been popcorning people for stuff, so.
I know. And although Zoom is supposed to have a feature now that you can click and you get to see what I see, but that's not on my Zoom. So
Zoom says a lot of things.
And then they don't come out. So who wants to, Olga, did you want to start?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Go for it.
First of all, I just want to say how much I love you all, and I think about you guys all the time. And I talk to you guys about all my new communities and my new people, and I sound like a crazy person. They're like, what was this thing that you did? I don't know. And I just want to call out Eric for first getting me to come. When I was a freshman, I had like no idea what I was getting into. He was like, just come dance. And I'm like, okay, I'll join your cult. And I did. And it was amazing. Okay, what we're doing right now. I have lived in LA with my partner for like the last 5 years, but we're in Seattle right now and it's really cold at my parents' house. I have not danced tango in a long time. I work as a physical therapist and I love it. And it also is very much, sometimes the intuition that I've learned from tango is really helpful because I work with my hands so much and I treat mostly women's health conditions. So like, I really have to be kind of intuitive and understand people and bodies. So it's really helpful. And then moving on, I'm actually applying for a master's in public health. So I'm probably going to be doing that next year. So that's me. I think, did I answer everything? Yeah, that's it. I love you guys all so much. Like, I think you guys are all amazing. And every time I do dance tango, just randomly, I happen to be dancing a tango somewhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels so good. And I do miss it all the time. So I need to do it more after COVID. That's all.
It's worth keeping in your life for sure.
Who wants to go next? Go ahead, Derek.
Oh man, it's amazing to see everybody. This is so great. So yeah, I'm Derek. I was in Tango Club for 4 years. All 4 years I was at Arizona State. And I signed up. So they have this like clubs day before the fall semester starts. There's tables out there, and Eric and Allie and Cassandra were there. That's right, with your board and your video of like tango videos, and yeah. And I might have a memory of potentially being accosted by Allie. I'm not 100% sure. There was definitely a very strong encouragement, of like, hey, come on over here, right? Like, you need to sign up for this club. And it was amazing. And I think one of the things that was incredible to me about ASU Tango Club was the energy that the leadership brought like to bear. And like there were a lot of things that fed into the club that helped it succeed the way it did. But I think like I really remember you guys and like that.
I'm gonna call bullshit on you saying that, Derek, because I seem to remember 2 people in particular leading a festival. Who could they be?
Oh God.
While doing honors theses, no less. Like, gosh, those people must have been crazy.
Well, but I learned from some, like I had a desire to bring that to the club because I saw it, that's what Tango Club was, right? And that was such a key part of that community was, and I've realized it since then, so I'm currently in Vancouver, Canada. I am still in my PhD. I'm hoping to defend in the spring. We'll see. COVID and everything. Yeah, fingers crossed. but you know, so I also moved to the Bay Area after ASU, and I had a great time. I danced a lot, and I learned a lot, and it was great. And then I moved up to Hayden is shaking the rattle in the background. A lot's happened since I left Tango Club. But coming up to Vancouver was interesting because there was a university club at one point at UBC. It actually sort of disappeared before. Whoa!
Hey!
Hey!
Hey guys! Sorry I crashed the party late.
Hi, it's so exciting.
Hey.
Okay, nice to see you. We're just kind of going around now and catching where people are and what they're doing. And
awesome. Well, I want to hear it. Let's keep going.
Okay, keep going, Derek. And then
Sure. Yeah. I'll be quick. Okay. Long story short, I think it was amazing the energy that the leadership brought and that Daniela and Ramel brought, and the love that powered it for the people as much as the dance. I think that was amazing. Everybody has sort of said that already, and yeah, you definitely realize what a big difference that makes when you get outside of that context and you go, there's different communities at different times. You want a mom one? Okay, hang on. Okay, sorry. Hang on. But yeah, different communities have different dynamics, and that's something that I found really remarkable about the community that we had. I guess the last thing I'll say is Tango, the effect it's had. I spend a lot of my time. I'm in the biological sciences, and so much of my time is spent working really hard, trying to get this. Whoop. You okay? Okay, good job. So much of my time is spent like in my head, and even though I don't dance tango, even outside of this year, nearly as much as I used to, when I go back, it sometimes takes a little while, but I'm able to sort of like, you can almost feel yourself move from your head and into your heart. And it's so rejuvenating. It's so nourishing. That's something, I found with Tango Club. So yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. It's great to see everybody.
Thanks, Derek. Who's next? Hey, Allie, you want to go?
Yeah, because I have to defend myself. I'm pretty sure I would not have accosted anybody unless Eric told me to.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure. He probably was like, hey, get that kid to join Tango Club. And I was like, on it. That probably is what happened. I'm Allie. I live in Minnesota now. I did before ASU, so I'm back here now. I teach elementary school. And so it took me a long time to actually mute myself on this meeting. And when people raise their hand, I do want to call on you because I did teach this way like all last spring, and it was not anyone's favorite. But that's me. And yeah, I mean, Derek was talking about like lessons that Tango Club taught you, or those things that tangoing helps you carry through your life. And I think it's very good that I learned how to follow, which is very related to me, like accosting Derek and getting him to join the club. Like, it's really good for me in a lot of moments to be like, you know what, it's okay for someone else to lead something and to go along with it, because I kind of like to lead all things and dictate how they're gonna go. But I think that was a huge thing for me that I really draw on a lot, where it's like, no, it's kind of actually super nice for somebody else to lead and for you to decorate and for you to like embody the dancing or the whatever is happening. So that's me. And I'm pretty sure casting Derek was Eric's fault.
Awesome, Allie. Thank you. Who else? Who wants to go next? Cassie, you and Clayton are next on my windows. Do you want to go next?
Sure. We are still in Arizona. And right now I am teaching middle school math, also very familiar with Zoom. However, all my students always have their video off, so this is really wonderful for me. And
I'm on, I don't know, my 5th career since ASU. For 2 years or so. It's nice to change because it gets boring. We have our 2-year anniversary in 3 days, I think.
Oh,
I know
wow.
what day it is. Don't worry, I know what day. And it was Tango that, you know, brought us together 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
So we have a lot to thank for that. And we're in Arizona until I can convince her to leave and live on a sailboat in the Caribbean.
we did recently buy a boat to practice on. Don't
She let me
worry.
buy a small boat that we can take to the lake, but I want to sell our house and make the boat our house. But we'll see. Give us a 5 years. This Zoom call will be in, I don't know.
I approve of this plan.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to joining you. I'm inviting myself.
You're invited.
You're all welcome.
Absolutely.
Do you have fur pets? I think you guys have 2 pets, fur pets, don't you?
You guys remember Moses? He was around back then.
Is he still there?
Moses was a part of our photo shoot.
Oh, right. Moses is on ASU Tango Club.
Yeah, tell him.
Jealous. Awesome. Clayton, you did an awesome video for us at one point.
Yeah, I remember doing that. It was fun. That was, you know, I was lucky enough to get 2 communities, my film community at ASU and this community.
Mhm.
So I got 2 lovely group experiences from ASU. Took me 10 years to do it, but
What is time?
It's awesome. Eric, you're next on my, thanks you guys for coming. And Eric, you're on my screen now.
All right. Well, I guess I have to defend myself now. Except it's all true. Allie's always right. That's I think what made it all work is we had a good relationship that way. It's so good to see everybody. Wow. What am I supposed to talk about? Where I am now. I am living in Guayaquil, Ecuador. I teach high school English and middle school social studies now. And what else? I mean, the Tango memories, it's the community. I think that's the biggest takeaway, like we've been saying. And it's really cool to just hear how like things that Allie and I dreamt of, like having a festival, we never made it happen, but it's so cool to see that it did happen just later on down the line. And it's really nice to see that just generational passing of the Tango Club and how it just keeps growing and getting better with every generation. It's so nice to see. Yeah, I think my favorite memory may be, there's some memories that I don't think I should say if we're live on Facebook. I really loved, I don't know where does Tango Club dance anymore, but we used to dance in the social sciences building in the courtyard there. And just some of the times when like it would lightly rain and there's like that net above it, so it just kind of like mist through. It was just so nice. And sometimes I would go up onto the balcony and just like look down and watch people dance, and you could see the footprints in the rain track. It was really, really nice. That's one of my favorite memories. Beyond all the time, just being with everybody in the club and accosting new members, selling the cult. Oh, I think I froze there.
We see you.
Okay.
Join the dark side. We have abrazos.
Awesome. Eric, you've been in Guayaquil for a while.
A long time now, yeah. 6, 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's treating you right.
Yes, for the most part. For the most part, I like it. I like my job. I like the students I work with. It's a good community of teachers here too. Guayaquil itself is not the most exciting city in the world, or in Ecuador. Ecuador has a lot of other places that are, I think, would be nicer to live, but you know, it's good.
Nice. So good to see you again.
It's so good to see everybody.
And I remember Eric coming up to me in class and saying, "Is there a Tango Club? Can we start one?" I'm like, "Yeah, do it. Like, what do you need
What's the
from
worst
me?"
that could happen?
I was like, "What do you need from me? Just go for it." I remember that very clearly. So thank you for doing that. Created a legacy.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It was there before us though, but yeah, it's great to see it's still going. I'm speechless.
Thank you. Matt Cast, you're next on my screen.
My goodness. Well, one memory that is barely Tango Club related, kind of, which connects to Eric, the social sciences courtyard building. So I started Tango Club during my second year, I'm pretty sure. And my first year, I was wasting my life dancing salsa and also doing something else. But another club I was in had a meeting in the social sciences building on the second floor on the same night, Thursday nights at like 6 to 8. So whenever we would exit, we would like see tango dancers down there. And it just seemed like this like bubble that was like so foreign and like you don't even quite know what it is. And it just seems like something like, I don't know quite what the right word is, but entirely out of my realm of experience at the time. And so then to like realize that when I was taking tango class, I was like, oh, that's what it is. Like, that's amazing. So that was kind of like a cool, like, I don't know what, like a foreshadowing, I guess, in my life that I didn't quite realize at the time. Currently, I am in Seattle, still with Andrea. Andrea is also here. And to kind of also connect with what Ali was saying, I have tried to start dancing in every major city I've moved to, but every time I've just gone home after the first time sad. So I think I danced in Eugene a couple times. We were there for 5 to 6 years, and we tried once here, and it's just like, oh, I'm just sad now. But yeah, that's about all I have. The community, obviously. I guess the other thing is because I did a master's program, and so I did 3 years at ASU, and then I came back after being gone for a semester or two, and that was just amazing. Like getting to come back to dance for one semester, especially with people who I'd overlapped before, that was amazing.
Thanks, Matt. Bye, Erica. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Great. Patrice, you are next on my screen.
Okay. I guess I already said I'm in Cambodia right now. I just moved here. I know, crazy moving to a foreign country in the middle of a pandemic, but that's my life. But it's really nice here. There's no community spread, so I go outside and I live my life, which is an incredible thing. I have been trying to rack my memory for like a favorite memory, and it's so incredibly hard for me because I just have so many good memories of tango. And you know, I think to me, having a community that everyone is so supportive, that the things that everyone has already said, like I honestly just don't think that I've ever been able to find something quite like that. And you know, as wonderful as tango is, there is something really unique about ASU Tango, and that sort of like special, I don't know what it was, whether it's Daniela and Ramel or, you know, the generations and everyone who, you know, was so kind and so welcoming. And, you know, I definitely wasn't a very outgoing person, but, you know, all the people and, you know, a lot of, you know, Marco and Liz and Marissa, like I remember, you know, how kind everyone was, how like, come, let's do this and come, let's do that. And, you know, it was just like falling down a rabbit hole of like okay, this is everything in my life now. And you know, I've never really gone back, and I do miss that. And I wanted to, you know, I think times with Daniela and Ramel were really special, and times with everyone in the club were special. And the way that the class really taught people, you know, the good foundations of tango. And I think that really made a difference. And I go out in the world and people don't, you know, people have been dancing for 6-7 years and they're not as good as some of the people who were in the club. And I think it's just because there's so much encouragement and so much support, both from, you know, Daniela at the time and from the club in general. So I don't know, I'm struggling with memories. I have so many that I can't possibly share just one, but it's so great. I know a lot of you are generations before me, and it's really a beautiful thing to have this moment to sort of see and reflect on that. So thanks, everyone.
Awesome, Patrice. I'm so glad you could be here. I saw the picture of you with the elephants on Facebook. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool.
It's really wonderful. I highly recommend Cambodia.
Awesome. Will, be next, please.
Well, I am currently in San Francisco, not working, and it's been pretty great to not work for 6 months, to be honest. I know the pandemic's hard, but I've kind of been enjoying myself a lot. I was roped into tango like many others apparently, by Ali and Eric. I before college had run track and was going to run track in college and got injured, and kind of by chance showed up to the club thing that ASU was doing, and Ali and Eric kind of grabbed me out of the crowd and was like, come dance with us. And it was like, okay, let's do it. And the rest is kind of history. I've in San Francisco there and in the Bay Area, there's so much dancing. Before the pandemic, that you could dance like any day of the night, whenever you want. And I did. And I slowed down a little bit, and then decided with some friends to start a class for queer men. That was great, and it we were expecting maybe 10 people. That would have been great, and it ended up selling out and becoming this big thing and this amazing thing and this community building thing that we didn't know was going to happen. And is so fulfilling, and the seed was Tango Club and the community that I learned in Tango Club, and the kind of the way that the leaders of Tango Club nurtured tango and nurtured their community. That's kind of what we tried to reflect in my class, and how we grew our community here in San Francisco. And I'm so happy that I got to be a part of this.
I had no idea, Will. That is the bomb. That is so cool. Very, very exciting. Thank you. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Whew. Marisa, you're next on my screen.
All right. I don't even know what to say now. It's so nice being able to see everyone. It's nice knowing that regardless of whatever might happen, all of us have just some type of family, community, or something outward, which is such a great feeling to see when I see all of you. I don't know what to say now. I'm a teacher now. I'm teaching 6th and 7th grade social studies and science. It's kind of by happenstance. I'm on an emergency teaching certificate until I figure out my life quote of the last 10 years or so. But some stuff has been ruled out, which is great. Aside from that, I was with the SciTech Festival. I don't know if some of you remember me just sitting in class on my laptop on the side, working and then trying to go to class at the same time. Was with them for a long time. I eventually became the director, which was really cool because it's the third largest science festival in the United States. I was way in over my head. It was a lot of fun while it lasted, but ooh, that was good. That was good. It was fun. It was good. But yeah, aside from that, I'm still just trying to figure out what to do. I have a mentor I'm working with, which is awesome, who's working to help figure it out. Aside from that, I've been with my partner, for those of you who did meet her, for coming up on 6 years now, which is crazy. I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't really know what else. I don't really dance as much as I used to. I think I dance once a year at the Albuquerque Tango Festival. So it's a lot of fun. Derek, the tradition is being upheld still have the tequila. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm just really glad to see all of you. So
I'm so glad you came. You stopped by. Thank you for coming, Marisa. I mean, it's amazing that Albuquerque, that you're still helping out Albuquerque Tango Festival. We were such an asset. ASU Tango Club was such an asset to a lot of the Southwest, at least Tucson and Albuquerque Tango Festivals. So it's like really great. So thank you. Adam, you're in my corner. Adam?
Let's see. So where am I now? I am
in Republic.
I'm in Republic, Washington. I moved here last year. I moved to the Bay Area for a job after college and lived there for 6 years and discovered that it was not a good fit for me. So the work culture here in the Bay Area in tech is you work 60, 80 hours a week, and that is considered, oh, you showed up, and you don't do anything else outside of work, really. There are a whole bunch of things that they talk about and they give lip service to, and they do this, that, and the other, but really just you live for your job. And that was really hard for me because I was in the Bay Area and there was all this wonderful stuff to do, and there was all this dancing that was happening and all of these wonderful dancers that were around, and I couldn't go out and enjoy it. So, and also it's very, very divisive there. There was a lot of, we have to say X because we want to fit in, but we really think anything but, and I came across a lot of that once I realized I was going. And so anyway, there was a lot that was wonderful, but a lot of it that wasn't fitting at all. So I moved out here to Republic to help a friend of mine homestead a piece of property he bought that is completely off grid. Because in addition to the area not working for me, I was so burned out that I couldn't do anything technical, which is bad if you were an engineer, just FYI. But stepping away from it for 6 months was what I needed. And I started just tinkering with stuff for fun again, which is wonderful. Unfortunately, that meant that I was job hunting just as COVID started.
Right.
Which is suboptimal. But currently the title is lead systems engineer for a Haskell startup out in Australia.
Very cool.
My manager is the VP of engineering, and he is absolutely phenomenal. I really like my CEO. He's got a very level head on his shoulders, which is the first time that's happened.
Nice. Thanks.
I really like it here in Republic. It's gorgeous out here.
Thanks, Adam.
The people here are kind and considerate and gracious and supportive, and no, I feel very, very lucky to be here. And I need
Thanks,
to
Adam.
get more tango here, but that's long term.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you made it to the call. Thank you so much.
Well, no mess up.
Marco.
Okay. Yeah. So what have I been doing?
Holding
I
up
was
tango
very
in
lucky.
Arizona.
Trying while also still holding down my job. I work as a credit analyst for an auto finance company, and then yeah, that's kind of what I was. I think I worked in a restaurant for like a year or two right after I graduated. It's when I was still actually considering myself like hanging out with the club as like a fellow club member primarily versus support now. Then I got that job. I stayed there. I'm still there, thankfully. I'm still, yeah, of course, here in Arizona. I'm actually renting a room with Liz wherever she is on the screen. What else have I been doing? Yeah, like I said, I inherited the practica. I still help the club. Let's see, what else is going on? Oh, that's the big stuff. I mean, I got really into traveling the last 2-3 years, you know, going both to the East and West Coast for a bunch of tango events. So that's kind of how I've kind of kept running into Mac and other people here and there. Yeah, tango's been great. It's been a great hobby to have. It gives me a good, it's my good excuse to travel. So happy that I found it.
Awesome. I
and
know.
then-
I love coming in to visit Arizona and you're there, Marco. It's like my heart just goes poof, you know.
I'm happy when you come back.
Thank
you. It's no, it's been nice. I think I do want to echo that there is definitely something that, as much as I love traveling tango, that circle of ASU kids that traveled as a pack was so comforting. It was so nice. It's probably the reason I got out of my less social shell, that I was able to keep traveling and kind of doing this stuff on my own now. Also having Liz as a travel buddy has been a nice security blanket. So it's been great.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Marco. And for sake of continuity, Liz.
Okay, so I'm still here in Arizona. I work as a software engineer for Intel. And I have my little furry friend here. Come here. You tired? You tired?
Oh my God, so cute.
That's Hermes. He's apparently very tired today.
It's not normal.
It's not normal, no. But yeah, just been working, traveling with Marco when I can. It's been nice just to be able to go to different cities and get to see old friends and new friends.
Awesome.
But yeah.
I know, it's nice to see you too when I come into AZ.
Yeah. And then when COVID kind of hit, it turned our living room into an aerial studio. So I have silks, I have a hoop, and an entire rig set up. So
wow,
it's been kind of fun.
That's awesome. I want to learn that stuff.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Very cool. Thanks, Liz, so much for stopping by. Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Oakland now. I've been here about 5 years, and the scene has been great. It took a little while to get into, but it's you know, great. And yeah, there's dancing, or was dancing, nearly every night. So it's you know, I could definitely get my fix. And yeah, so many memories. You know, for Tango Club. You know, traveling was always a lot of fun, like everybody else has said. But you know, I think Daniela, you were quite the force. You know, you'll always be my Tango mama. You know, whenever anybody asks, I'm like, yeah, she was the best. She really drilled everything into us. You know, not just the dance, but the culture of it, right? And I feel like that's lost on a lot of people. They don't get that when they start dancing, and I think that's a big part of tango, right? Because anybody can just learn to dance. It takes a while in practice, obviously, but it's these finer parts that make it stand out from other dances, right? So yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Scotty.
Tango Mama.
Thank you, Scotty. And I'm so happy you are doing all the cool things you're doing with Tango. It's so, I get so inspired. I feel so inspired by hearing about what all of you are doing. And then, you know, and then if you've continued Tango, that's just like, it's nothing that I would have ever expected. You know, I literally am like, here, we're doing this for this semester. If you're here next semester, next year, that's great. See ya, but have fun. Love it now, you know, but then to hear, you know, like years later that you're still doing it is.
Well, and one thing that I have noticed from many other people here is we will dance with someone new and they'll be like, oh my God, you're amazing. How long have you been dancing? And the answer is like, oh, I don't know, like a year or two. And they were thinking like 5 or 10. And I think you have a lot of credit for that, quite frankly.
Thanks.
The way you teach got people to a level of expertise and finesse and comfort that usually takes a lot longer.
Thanks.
The Arizona community still wants instant students like you used to produce.
Yes.
Just add water.
Right.
Olga, you want to go?
I went, but I did want to add something real quick, which is that besides learning tango, which I do agree, I think that the way you taught us I've taken other dance classes and it was like, you do this, 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 and then you do that. And it's like, great, I'll memorize it. But with tango, you were like, it's learning how to move, like learning how to walk again. And you took the time to teach us how to feel the world in a different way, which I love. And the other thing I wanted to say is I started, and I forgot about this, but for the longest time, everything was a metaphor that I could relate to tango. Like my whole brain, I do think, because I was 18 when I started, I think my brain wiring changed. I really do think there's some neuroplasticity that happens. And I also wanted to say, because like I see you guys and I forget everything I want to say because I love you all so much, but some of my favorite memories from that important time in my life were with you guys, and I love you all so much. And I just wanted to say that.
Olga, it's incredible. And you're in Seattle, right?
Just visiting my parents.
Right.
I've been living in Los Angeles for the last 5 years. And so sometimes I'll see Will because he'll pop in, but it's really good to see you all here.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Olga. Thanks for the work you do too, being a lover of bodies. Thank you for the work you do. Carolyn.
Hey, so, well, first of all, I just want to say sorry for being late. I completely forgot about this and I worked out and I was literally about to hop in the shower and then I saw like Daniela was live. And so I'm in my bathroom, but I just had to come see all my favorite people because I loved tango. And I met some of my best friends and many of my roommates doing tango. I actually was not roped into tango by Ali and Eric. My boyfriend at the time thought it would be very romantic if we took a tango class. And then we broke up right before class began and he dropped out. And I continued in the class and loved it and found much better people to be with. And so, yeah, I loved it. And I'm trying to think what my favorite memory was. And I think it's not really tango related, but we used to throw Will gay birthday parties. And I think the first one we threw at Eric's apartment, if I remember correctly. Yes. And almost the entire Tango Club was there and it was fantastic. And it was like the start of an incredible tradition of ours. And yeah, and so I loved it. And each year I always remember, I'm like, oh man, I wish we could still throw Will gay birthdays. But yeah, we started that at Eric's apartment and I just love the community that we created. Like Will became my best friend, roommate, first husband, mail of honor. I lived with the other Liz for a while as well. And yeah, and whenever we have our tango reunions, it's like no time has passed and it's amazing. And yeah, I love it. And I do things occasionally, but not as often as I would like to.
It was so nice to see you when I was back there, whenever it was last year, whatever year it was.
That was so nice.
It was so nice.
Like I think Olga was talking about the muscle memory. Like you may not dance for a long period of time, but as soon as you start dancing, it's just this incredible feeling, and I love it so much. I kind of don't really like going to milongas without my tango folks though, because I really never mastered the art of the cabeceo. So that just never really worked out for me.
Oh, the good old cabeceo, right? Oh, you guys are so incredible. Acacia, my dear, what a pleasure to see you again.
Yeah, it's so great to see all your guys' faces. I'm like overcome right now. It's just all you beautiful people. It's so great to see you. So I have somehow found myself in Miami, Florida. I am getting my MD, PhD because I guess one degree wasn't enough. So I'm currently studying immunology, and I am going to be an immunologist and physician scientist, which is really exciting. I'm a total immunology junkie, and
Does that have job security these days or no?
I'm a little bit concerned, you know. I have to admit, in the last like 6 months or so, I'm like, I don't know if anyone's really gonna want me.
Yeah, there's nothing terribly relevant going on right now, Acacia. You might want to change to something more, you know, useful.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Being an auto mechanic or something.
Incredible.
But yeah, so I love what I do, so I'm really fortunate in that. And but you know, just and I danced a couple of times in Miami. Unfortunately, my feet just never. I just danced so much. I danced so much, and my feet aged faster than the rest of my body. And so, you know, those heels, I couldn't do it after a while. So I dance pretty infrequently now. But, you know, I also find that I've never been able, I lived in Chicago for a time, I lived in Denver for a time, I danced in all those cities. I've never been able to replicate what I found in Phoenix with you guys. Like I was never able to replicate that sense of community, that sense of belonging. It was absolutely extraordinary. And, you know, I think it was really one of a kind. I look back at that time as truly a golden age for ASU Tango Club. And it was a really special time. And I just am always going to be grateful for the rest of my life that I just happened to be in the right place at the right time to be able to be a part of it. And I actually was recruited by Mac Kirker. And I guess it's because he liked my sneakers. I was wearing Converse and he thought I was cool because I was wearing Converse. I don't know, that's the story that he tells me. And I, you know, kind of like Carolyn, I had just broken up with my high school boyfriend. This was freshman year of college. And you know, Mac's like, hey, you should come dance tango. We're dancing tango in the cafeteria at Barrett. And I was like, okay, like, what's tango? And I did, and like, I never looked back. I mean, you guys know that. You know how the story goes. So, yeah, I mean, my absolute favorite memory was, well, I can't actually pick a favorite memory. Of course, there are unbelievably countless, like, fantastic memories that are just absolutely treasures in my heart. But the first thing that came to mind was when we did the retreat in Flagstaff, because I loved the Flagstaff retreat. And the one year that we had Mila and Daniel come, and I was so inspired by them because they were such beautiful dancers. And that weekend was just like an immersion in paradise. And that's just one of my fondest memories. So anyways, I'll stop talking now, but it's so great to see all of you guys. And I'm really glad that we took the time to do this.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you stopped by. Really, everybody. Ramel, I know, wants to say hi, and I definitely didn't want this to go more than an hour and a half because I know I've spent most of quarantine on screen and it makes me nutballs. So, Ramel, you want to say hi?
I will definitely say hi. First of all, hello to all of you guys. You guys make me cry to remember all the wonderful times that we spent together. Hearing you gives me a lot of hope. Like I think one time I said it to Daniela, how incredible of a human beings you are. And giving a little bit of my tango to you guys, it really helped me to grow into a better person. You guys, one of the best communities of people that I have ever come across. So thank you, each of you, for that, a special gift. That's it.
And you're in DC right now, hanging out, right?
I am in DC hanging out, but I've been living in Buenos Aires for the last 5 years. So, and that's where I will come back after after my DC experience.
Nice. Good. Thanks, Ramel, for coming by, stopping by. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I have nothing. I'm like, still, I'm super full. I would really, again, thank you all for stopping by and for taking the time. I know that this year has been difficult for a lot of us. And
to put it mildly.
And so really just grateful to hear about how good it can be, because we had it once, right? And so I kind of want it to be a message for the tango world as well, you know, that tango can survive if people care and go and say, please come to tango, and really commit to community is kind of what I hear from all of you. So thank you for that. And thank you for being all a part of my tango journey and my tango life, as I really don't know what my life is going to be like next year. And I am in Argentina, and I call it stuck by choice. So I've been here since February. And then, you know, like while we're reinventing ourselves, I decided I would just stay here. And so we'll see where I end up, but I would love to, I don't know, I sort of feel like it'd be so nice to maybe do this again next year or something, just to kind of see if it builds, if we can gain a little momentum and keep sharing some wisdom. And Joey was on and Joey bopped off, but it would be nice to see. I know other people said that they wanted to stop by, and it's all good. Whoever's here is fine. I'm so happy you guys are here, but maybe there'll be more people who want to stop by. Let's see. I'll rope Jackie in next year. Nice. Good. So any last minute anythings, Adam?
I do. I heard a couple people say that they would go to Limalonga and then come home depressed. Yes, we all got like stupidly lucky with Tango Club. But it is like, it's a bit like falling in love, right? You lose your high school sweetheart, nothing will ever replace that. Nothing will ever be like that. But you can learn to love again. The first time you go to Limalonga in a new city, it'll be not what you expect and not what you hope for. The second time, you'll discover what that thing is, and you will learn to fall in love with that thing. So I like, having done this a couple of times, I really encourage people, like, tango has changed my life, not just because it showed me how to interact with people, but also it's introduced me to people that have become lifelong friends. So
awesome.
Stick with it. It's worthwhile.
Awesome.
Also, Matt, tell Andrea I said hi.
So my dears, I don't want to keep, who are we pointing to?
I was raising my hand. I just wanted, you thanked us, and I just wanted to make sure that I thank you, because
Thank you so much.
you're the glue that kept all of us together, really. I mean, it was, you let every one of us be who we are and not worry about what that meant. Like, you let us get outside of ourselves and as a collective. And I think that's why everybody progressed so quickly. So thank you.
Yeah.
It's also, you were incredibly patient with us, because when we all started, like, no, I'm being serious. When we all started, we were like, I'm sure I'm not the only one that says this, but Tango taught me a hell of a lot. And that was because I needed to learn a hell of a lot. So you were very, very patient with us, and you were very, very forgiving with us, and you saw us as who we could be, not who we were.
Yeah, I think you gave us a lot of room to experiment and to play and to converse in a way that a lot of dance teachers do not. The way you seem, the way that you approach teaching us was completely different from anything that I had seen before, and it made us learn and love and create in a way that is really unique, and I think that it's important to acknowledge that. And also, you're all invited to the next Tango Club reunion. So I think it's going to be in Austin. So maybe when the pandemic is over in 2025, we can all mark your calendars.
I have also one last thing to say.
Sure.
Danielle and Ramel, you guys have already contributed to keeping Tango going just by the virtue of those of us who are still like organizing and trying to contribute to the community, like presently, whether it was in the past or, you know, now. Like Scott seems to be doing a lot. I'm doing what I can here. Well, I was before, you know, the quarantine, but, you know, Will's done some stuff like it. Seeing all of that go through has already been that contribution, and who knows how we inspired. Actually, I think one of the kids that kind of started learning when I was starting to teach at Tango Club and help them out, he is trying to continue and dance and get things going in India. Last I checked in like a year or two ago. So like this is already growing. We don't know how much, but it's exciting to know that all of this came from you guys.
Thank you. So exciting. Okay, I don't want to say goodbye, but I will let you all go for now. But if you, of course, ever want to reach out, I am here and on Zoom most of the day. So check in with me, or if you want, I just put it out there, and you're not alone. I think that's also part of it, is look at all these lovely people that you have connected with and reconnected with, and they're still a part of your heart. So nicely done. I miss you guys.
We're so lucky to have you.
Thanks. Yes. I feel lucky to have all of you, very much so. You're always in my hearts, big time. So
do we want to take a family photo real quick?
Oh, how do I do that?
Yeah, family photo.
I've been taking photos already, but
have you?
Yeah.
Did you take photos when there were more people on here?
Yes. All right, I guess we can smile. 3, 2, 1, cheese. All right.
Awesome. I'm so glad you remembered that. Thank you.
You should post that, Marisa, so we can all see it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Those potatoes.
Fabulous.
Potatoes.
So great to see everybody.
Potatoes.
Thank you
I
so
feel like
much.
Derek cheated to get the cutest picture, though.
Well, obviously, but
You guys are awesome. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Really means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm muted,
Daniela.
everybody.
This has been
Ciao,
great.
bye. Ciao,
Bye, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
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 Gotta do a heart. There we go.
Oh, good. Thanks for the heart.
How do you do that?
How do
I don't
you
even
do
want to
that?
sign off.
Allie, we can't hear you.
No, I was telling Quentin to come over here.
Oh.
Because like a couple weeks ago, I got married.
What?
You got married?
Yeah. So I was making him come over here to say hi to you. This is Quentin.
hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, couple weeks ago? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Wow. How did that not come out in your bio? The what's new with me?
Well, you know. So we actually didn't tell anybody before we got married besides our families. And only our like parents and siblings showed up. We went to the courthouse, we had cake in the parking lot, and then we mailed postcards to some people. We're like, hey,
there you go.
We did a thing.
We did a thing.
And now it's on Facebook Live. But I wanted to tell you guys how we're actually in person.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations. So good to meet
He
you.
doesn't dance yet though, so that's really my excuse. That's why I can't
Work
go
on that.
dancing.
But you're doing golf together. You're golfing, so that's all good.
Yeah. So there you go. There's my
awesome.
surprise to end the night.
Awesome.
that's
I love
great.
surprises. Thanks for telling me.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Well, it's the perfect
So
time
nice
to
to
tell
meet
you
you.
guys.
Yes.
So much better.
Yeah.
Zoom calls better than a mail.
I always get all my news on Facebook. So it's like, this is so much better than getting my news on Facebook.
That's why we didn't post it. We were like, what a bummer for people. We were like, hey,
Yeah.
check Facebook.
Congrats. That's exciting. So exciting. Many blessings.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Bravo,
So good to
bravo.
see all of you.
Good to see all of
So
you.
good to see all of you.
I'm waiting for Eric to announce his wedding one of these days.
Soon, maybe. This is live, isn't it? I can't say anything yet. But yes. In another year when we meet, perhaps I'll have a special surprise at the end of the Zoom call.
Perfect. I love it.
That's what we'll be planning this. Like, who's going to have the big surprise at the end of the
Now someone asked you at the end too.
Right. Oh,
Pressure's
I'm
on.
going to start planning.
I know, everybody. I'm like, ooh, what can I do?
Ooh, I gotta have one.
I gotta have one too. Okay, my loves. Be well.
So
Take care of
you guys.
yourselves.
Okay.
So good to
So
see
good
you.
to
Thank
see
you so
you.
much for coming to the call. Means a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Ciao. Bye bye.
Ciao. Bye.